times, a lot. Her email address was wellreadhope@yahoo.com because she meant well, because she had red hair, and because she was well-read, and because her name was Hope. The youngest sister was not so young anymore. On the day the three sisters approached Dr. Salzberg's closed door, the youngest sister was just out of college. She was 22. She, Elizabeth, was wearing a dress with turkeys on it. Elizabeth worked in a vintage dress shop, naturally, and fancied herself a poet, naturally. It was, in fact, what her diploma had said, a major in creative writing with a concentration in poetry. She'd tell this to the people she met, half proud, half unsure, and as if things had three halves, half embarrassed, too. In elementary school, Elizabeth copied every single poem from Where the Sidewalk Ends onto a bundle of large ruled loose leaf and tried to pawn them off as her own. But Mrs. Baum, I've never even heard of Shel Silverstein, she protested. Mrs. Baum, I swear, look, they're in my own handwriting, so they're obviously mine. Elizabeth was experimenting with logic. And so Elizabeth had a little bit of trouble in her too, but only a little. She had grown up to see a great deal, an arguably delusional deal really, of beauty all around her. In the discarded pizza box on her stoop, the tattered baby sock atop the pizza box, the premature puffy blue veins congregating like excitable book club ladies on the backside of her knees. Elizabeth seemed either to feel things deeply or not at all. She didn't cry at many movies or even funerals, but it was very possible, and indeed often, that she'd ask an elderly couple on the subway how they'd met, and proceed to lightly weep and feverishly jot down details from the stranger's story. Oh, this is just so beautiful, she'd think. Oh my God, yes, I'm definitely going to write a poem about these two. I just can't believe them. His little wool hat, her little hairy ears, her sweet, sweet snaggletooth. Oh my God, yes, jackpot. This is a poem waiting to happen. This is just so, so beautiful. Sometimes, however, these subterranean strangers didn't care to cater to Elizabeth's buoyant, nearly oppressive curiosity. Upon being asked about their meeting places, most just responded with one to few word missives. College, work, mind your own business, kid. Still, Elizabeth found them all, the people and their stories and their answers and their non-answers and their hats and their ears and their teeth, incredible. This was a product of being the youngest, she thought, constantly collecting. Joy released her manicured hand from Elizabeth's and formed a slender fist. She knocked. Chapter 2. Dr. Salzberg was wiry. Her silver hair looked like a bed of undone staples, the twisty kind you have to pull from the stapler's little snout when the contraption fails to function. Her eyelashes were coarse rows of tiny, generously mascaraed pincers. Even Joy, who had brought her sisters here, who sought out Dr. Salzberg, saying, "It'll help. Come on, please, she'll help. We just need some help, is all." Even Joy was disconcerted by the cartoon spinster who answered the door. Nothing about Dr. Salzberg appeared menacing, but she was no great comfort on the eyes either. She needed some help is all. Elizabeth immediately fixated on the office decor, ferns. A plethora of dangling fake ferns. In a room with so much natural sunlight, she wondered what the point of the fake ferns might be. They looked oddly familiar too, and she wondered where else she would have encountered such grand plastic greenery. Perhaps in a photograph, a browning, cracking Polaroid of a memory that wasn't fully hers. There were several of these. Oops. Now, which one of you lovely young ladies did I speak with on the phone? Wait, Dr. Salzberg interrupted herself. Let me guess. She golf-clapped in 3/4, a strange little slappy waltz from her own hand to her own other hand. A genuine expression of excitement, it seemed. The three sisters all gave the same toothless smile, their chins dimpling, while Dr. Salzberg clapped, and then presumably pondered, and then guessed. She guessed right, curling the corners of her lips downward and nodding knowingly at the eldest, Joy. She followed with a slow shut of the right eyelid, a maybe wink. Hope shuddered at the motion. Ick, she thought, and accidentally maybe mouthed. Joy nodded back, politely acknowledging the doctor and her fine skills of deduction. Thank you so much for seeing us today, Dr. Salzberg, Joy started in, and under such short notice. My sisters aren't exactly, well, therapy people. But my own therapist, she recommended you, said you specialize in this kind of stuff, right? And so I figured, hey, maybe just this once, one session, maybe that's all we need. Oh, Dr. Salzberg, we're kind of in a code red situation here. And, well, I just figured, hey, maybe just this one time, one session, We could certainly use the help, and well, I got him here, didn't I, Joy's frazzle almost seemed rehearsed, like one of those semi-planned voicemails you leave for a crush, your index card covered in bullet points and ballpoint doodles. The doctor continued to grin-frown, the shape of her brows now curving into two matching grin-frowning parabolas. Joy let out a Lamaze-esque breath at the close of her small soliloquy. Hope did, with her eyes, what she did best with her eyes. She rolled them. A teenage tendency never quite outgrown, for how else could one react to her Marcia of a sister yakking on about code red to some bobble-headed stranger, repeating entire phrases punctuated by a series of sporadically placed you-knows, the way Joy had always done when nervous. But they were older now, of course, and the things about Joy that used to bother Hope were really no longer relevant. She had grown to accept and on a good day applaud her older sister. She no longer felt completely threatened by Joy's straight hair, straight A's, her flawless soprano, her overall direction, poise, apparent perfection. So the eye rolls were just residual, habitual leftovers from a relationship evolving, but grounded still in all the competitive trappings of sisterhood. Hope bit the inside of her cheek, the way she had always done when nervous. Though she continued to find the whole idea and now reality of this doctor's visit useless, what Joy had said was true, Hope was emphatically not a therapy person. And though she might have described this code red situation more like a "but seriously, Mom, what the fuck are you thinking" situation, she was grateful for Joy taking charge, for finding this weird old woman to listen to them talk, for being the spokesperson. Every sisterly unit needs one, after all. Chapter 3. In 1987, Joy was 13, and Hope was 10, and Elizabeth was born. They lived in Los Angeles then, in a house on Sierra Drive. 1987 was a big year for Aretha Franklin, who became the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. U2, Joshua Tree came out. AZT, Men came out. Population, which reached 5 billion, and Acid Wash. Even the little ribbon scotch-taped onto baby Elizabeth's cradle-capping forehead was a shade of denim acid wash heathered blue. And as Joy and Hope both approached teenhood with equal parts flab and fear, they each had their own pair of double-snap fly, elastic back, tapered at the ankle, Esprit acid wash jeans. It was unusual that their mom, Jill Silverman, would allow her children to don jeans. Jeans are what the regular kids wear, she'd tell her girls, lowering her voice at the word regular as if she were cursing or saying something racist, both of which she did occasionally, too. But when Acid Wash came onto the scene, Jill capitulated. Acid Wash was fun, funky, bold, in. One September morning, back to school season, when outfits were integral, Jill would tell her girls, Joy was preparing for her 11th day of 8th grade. After she had covered her heavy eyelids with periwinkle shadow, the pressure of the applicator wand emitting purple puffs of powder each time she lifted it from her skin, and after she had firmly secured her ponytail to the preferred side, left, of her heart-shaped head, and after she had practiced the 3 different ways she might say hello to Alex M. in homeroom. Oh, hey, nonchalant. Alex, hi, excited. Hello, you. Seductive, shy, perfect. It was time for the most daunting of morning tasks. It was time to pick out her outfit. She had already worn the tartan jumper, the crop top floral sweater, the chenille high-waisted leggings. She nodded to herself in the mirror. It was time to debut the Acid Wash. Alex M. would love them, she determined, just love them. Joy swung back the French doors to her walk-in closet and yanked open the top drawer of her white wicker dresser. The knob splintered and crunched beneath her eager little paw. There they were, right on top, folded just how they were folded in the store. Mom rules at folding, Joy thought. Joy had worn the jeans just once before, directly out of Bullock's the previous weekend, and after endless complaints of starchy legs, Mom told Joy not to worry, that the jeans would soften right up with a good swirl in the dryer, accompanied by a few snuggle sheets and tennis balls. She grabbed the jeans. Starchy no more, she could tell immediately just by the softness which met her hand. Joy lovingly continued to administer mental kudos. Wow, it's so cool. Mom knows so much about laundry.